Can you believe it? It's already February. February 3rd. It's a leap year. Got to be 29 days this February. But still, only, 10 months till Christmas? How you doing on this fine February 3rd day? It's pretty nice here in Arkansas. Really nice yesterday. Today's the day after the really nice day. Not as nice, but still, it's not cold. Any day it's not cold in the middle of the winter, that's a good day. Yesterday I was out on the water, had my boat, took it out. Everything worked. That's always good, setting up for a month or two. But got that puppy out on the water. Everything's good to go. Got a little bit of winter sunshine on my face yesterday. And today, though, it's cloudy. And it's still warm. Still going to be 70 today. It was 77 yesterday. But Wednesday, it's going to snow. Welcome to Arkansas, right? Welcome to FBTV. This is our FBTV Freight Broker TV video. And we get together every week, do a video, hopefully help you with your transportation operation, be it brokering, whatever it might be. Today we're going to be talking about check calls. Now, this goes as a trucking company. If you're a trucking company, don't pay attention to this because you should be getting a check call from your driver every day, being a check call or via satellite, Qualcomm, whatever you're using. But yes, this is primarily going to be for a freight broker or even a independent dispatching service. Now, when I was brokering full-time, I required a minimum of 2 check calls from the driver. I wanted to hear from that driver when he was loaded and when they were empty, bottom line. Load call, empty call. Empty, E-M-P-T-Y, load, L-O-A-D. Load call, empty call. There's a third call that I always threw in there as I wanted, but hoped I never got, and that was should something go wrong in between. So I always told the dispatcher at the trucking company, I want to hear from the driver when he's loaded, empty, and if anything goes wrong in between. And I usually got that call when they got to the destination. More times than not. It could happen along the way, but more times than not, when they got to the destination, they took the tarp off the load, they opened the trailer doors, they see a problem, and they call me, I get the details, and I relay it on. Now, a lot of you may be going, well, wait a second, Mike, shouldn't you be getting a check call every day? Well, that's totally up to you. I'm just telling you what I did, and the reason I did not want a check call every day from a driver is because normally those check calls come at the busiest time of my day, my money-making hours, sometime between 7:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. That's where I made most of my money as a freight broker. I did not want drivers calling me during that time for check calls because I had other things going on. I had to make money. You look at it this way. You got 10 loads moving. Yeah, a check call shouldn't take over 20, 30 seconds, but honestly, it might take 2 minutes. There's almost a half hour of the money-making time of my day spent on a check call. Now, you can do it however you wish. I'm just explaining to you the way I used to do it. Empty call, load call, something goes wrong in between, you can take it from there. Now, like I said, trucking companies, if you're a trucking company, yeah, you want to check call every day. Now, something else too. Let me take this one step further, because somebody's going to ask. I know it. Well, what about if your shipper wants a daily update? Okay, in a situation like that, when you've got a few minutes, call the trucking company that's hauling the load for that shipper that wants a daily update. Call that trucking company. That dispatcher knows where their truck is. They'll tell you. Then you can relay that information onto your customer. So that way you're making everybody happy, and you're not being bogged down taking a lot of calls from drivers when you really don't need to. Okay. Now, trucking companies, here's a heads up for you. Now, this has happened to me when I was a driver. I know it happens occasionally now through brokers. Can't say I'm a big fan of it, but more times than not, it's not the broker doing it. It's their customer implementing this. It's a check call fine. If you fail to make your check call, you can get fined. So check that low confirmation, check that contract. I see it happen all the time. Trucking companies get that broker carrier agreement, they sign it, don't even look at it, send it back. And there's stipulations in there about making a daily check call. You fail to do it, boom, you get your invoice, or you get a settlement from the broker, and you see it's been money deducted because your driver didn't make check calls. So, two sides of the fence there. You got to watch it. I'm not a real big fan of that. I think that's pretty sneaky. But welcome to the world we live in, right? Hey, if you missed it last Thursday, some reason it's in my head it was Friday, we did a webinar about freight brokering. I did 3 of them on Thursday. If you missed it, we got that puppy recorded, and it is available to FBTV Insiders. Now, what's an FBTV Insider, you might be asking? Well, it's a little thing we got set up that has a lot of information included for people that want a lot more information, and a lot of it's free. You can register for free. Yes, it is a subscription site. Let's take a look here. It's subscription, but the subscription is what, $2.99 a month, $25 a year, something like that. But you got all kinds of things in here. We got the everything from morning check calls, talking about what's going to be happening for the FBTV Insiders that week. Video archives. Now this is pretty new. It only went online here 1st of January. But the Insider Only podcast, if you've been listening to our podcast, well, we have an Insider Only podcast. We got Insider Weekend Extras, where, this past weekend we had the webinar. That was available to our FBTV Insiders only. It was an Insider Weekend Extra, we called it, but we've since made it into an FBTV Insider Only video. So anything like that you missed as an insider, you're going to still have access to. Insider Only podcast, see it first. Nothing in there now, but what happens anytime we do anything and make it available, that we're going to be making available to the public, insiders have first access. Hear it first, same thing. This morning coffee, if you haven't heard the morning coffee, we don't post this on YouTube, but if you go to the Freight Broker TV website, every morning, 6 a.m., we've got the FBTV Morning Coffee podcast. A couple of minutes, we talk about things pertaining to the transportation industry, topics, whatever. And this week, it's focused on being a new truck driver. How to work with dispatchers and things of that nature. Just topics, tips, tricks for a new truck driver. Now, here's something. A lot of you ask, I know from Tautoa, we used to offer this, the RV transport training. We had an e-workshop. A lot of people ask, well, where is it? Well, here it is. If you are an FBTV Insider, you have information, or you have access to all of this information. That was the original RV transport e-workshop. Now, it's not been updated. But if you're looking to get into the industry, a great place to start, and it's free with the RV or FBTV Insiders. We got the Pro Trends live broadcast, all the archives and everything like that coming down here. We got downloads for FBTV Insiders and such, ebooks. Also, the free access includes everything we podcast to make available to the public. All that's right in there. But anyway, if you want to check that out, go to FBTVinsider.com. You can also find the link at freightbrokertv.com. Can you hear that? Everything's getting squeaky in our studio. I don't know if you're hearing that or not, but boy, I turned that microphone and it's squeaking. Okay, let me get back over here. My chair squeaks. My wife came in here one night with WD-40. WD-40'd my chair. I know my chair squeaks. About time to get a new one. All right, you saw me with the FBTV coffee mug. You know where to check that out. Check that out at the freightbrokertv.com store. Can't miss it. All right. Questions, comments, anything, be sure to ask, go to the Freight Broker TV website, ask there, or you can ask below in the comments area. All right, I think that's going to wrap up this week's FBTV video for YouTube. Hey, have a good Monday, unless, of course, you've made other plans. And if you did...